Hello friends, a new season of Destiny 2 is here, and I'm here to show you some things that I'm excited about. So, let's get in here. So today, I wanted to show you what I'm using with the new Warlock Aspect Weavewalk, where you do your air move and you get a bunch of damage resistance and you basically become invisible to PvE enemies and you generate threadlings. What I'm using is I Have Another World. Now because of the way I Have Another World works, if you set your recovery, your discipline, and your strength to somewhere around 70, then you're basically going to have max stats on all of them, because I Have Another World gives about 2.5-ish, and it can actually extend past it. So if you had 80 discipline and 80 strength, it would actually recover faster than if you had just 100 of that stat without I Have Another World. So I Have Another World's pretty sick for this, because what the aspect doesn't say here is that it drains your melee energy over time. So you want to have high melee. Now the fragments I decided to use is a thread of transmutation. So while I have woven mail, final blows create tangles, and threadlings travel further and deal additional damage with thread of evolution. And then thread of warding, picking up an orb of power grants woven mail. On top of that, we have the very common and popular class item mod, Reaper. So the first kill I get after using my class ability will spawn an orb, so we can get woven mail that way. I also have powerful attraction on, so that when I cast my rift again, I'll automatically collect the orbs nearby. Another thing that I'm doing to combo this is in my class, or in my arms, I'm using Font of Focus and Font of Vigor, which they each give you about 30 of that stat, whichever stat it is. So, 30 discipline, 30 strength, while I have armor charge. And in my helmet, I'm also using Font of Wisdom, so I'm getting 30 intellect as well here. So really, if you look at my stats, I have 20 mobility, 100 resilience, 90 recovery, 100 discipline, 70 intellect, and 100 strength with I Have Another World and then these font mods. The other thing I'm doing here is I'm using momentum transfer, so causing damage with my grenade reduces my melee cooldown so that I can go into Weavewalk more frequently. And then down here at the bottom, I also have it so that collecting or destroying a strand tangle has an escalating chance to give me armor charge as well that way. I also have recuperation and absolution, so when I grab an orb I get more abilities and I instantly heal a good chunk. You can use surge mods, you can use whatever you want there. I'm just showing you kind of what I've got here. Another neat interaction we're going to show you is how passive slash what do you call it, damage over time, such as Anarchy and Wither Horde, will work with Weavewalk. And on top of that, I've got some Pugilist weapons. A Pugilist primary weapon gives you about 10 to 11% per kill. And then a special ammo weapon, such as a shotgun, fusion rifle, I think just not grenade launchers, they give you about 20% of your ability back. So that's very strong. Oh, I didn't even explain the other aspect I'm using. Silly me. Silly me. I'm using the one that makes your tangles they track on to enemies and then they suspend. Let's go up here for a second. Enemies aren't gonna attack me up here, right? I'll show you right here. The other one we're using is the Wanderer. Tangles you throw attach to targets and detonate a suspending burst. Destroying a tangle also does a suspending burst, and threadling final blows create a tangle. So with threadling final blows creating a tangle, and a lot of this, it's going to create a decent amount of whoa, this is a great example. We just use Weavewalk here. I like to cast a rift if I can beforehand, so that I can kind of heal in it while I'm in Weavewalk. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeez, the weave is real. Okay. So what we can do is we can hit this with Anarchy a few times and then go into our Weavewalk. And as we're generating threadlings, the threadlings are just going to actually pop off of us immediately and just go and attack the tank. Now, obviously, we eventually are going to run out of Weavewalk capabilities, so you can't do it forever. That's pretty cool. No abilities. Okay, here we go. Let's get the... Oh gosh, wow. The shield generator out of the way. Now we have some woven mail from getting the orb. Did it suspend this guy? That would have been nice. We'll get it to suspend this one. This is, oh yeah, very nice. And then we can also just shoot them to just do a suspending burst, which is good. All right, we've got full charges here, so we're just gonna launch 2 anarchy shots, go into Weavewalk, and we'll see how many threadlings we can pop off while anarchy's going. Dang, that's pretty good. That's not bad. We'll send the rest off as well. Whew, that's scary. It's a little bold of us. Another thing I just want to show you really quick, how I like to do my builds is, if you go to D2 Armor Picker, you choose your character, you can choose your stats, but what I like to set up down here is the armor limitation, because I know that I want to use a certain number of resist mods in the chest, and I know that there's a decent amount of arms mods and class item mods. I set a restriction over here so that my class item can only fit a 1 energy stat mods, and my boots can only fit up to a 3 energy max. My chest can only fit a maximum of 2 energy stat mods, and then 3 energy stat mods for my arms, and then my helmet can have a full 4 cost energy stat mod. That way I can fit all of the awesome juicy mods into the build, and then I can figure what stats I want to be able to achieve with which exotic I'm using. So there you go. That's my whole plan. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for being here.